Hi everybody, welcome back to the studio. This is Natifa. I'm just going to be working on a little project that I did for Tim Holtz's and Stampers Anonymous Christmas release or stamp set release. And you can see the picture that I'm showing you. Those were the ornaments that I made for them, and I said I was going to do a tutorial. I didn't do what I said I was, but now I'm doing it. So it's all good. I'm going to go through the supplies with you, but I thought they were really cute and they were a lot of fun for me to make. So I thought you might want to just kind of work on these with me and see if you want to create some for yourself. So these are the supplies that I used for this project. The first thing I used was some wood slices. I got these off Amazon. You can check my description box to see which ones I actually purchased. And just some wood slices. And then I have some, I'm using Tim Holtz's Distress Paint. You can just use regular like acrylic paint if you want, but this is what I have, so this is what I'm using. I have Candied Apple and Lumberjack Plaid. I wanted a darker red, so it's kind of up to you. You can do whatever colors you want. You don't have to follow exactly what I'm doing, but I wanted a darker red, and Lumberjack Plaid is actually the red that I use, but I just have these both just in case I need to, I kind of want to play with them a little bit. I also have some archival ink, Distress Archival ink. This is in Ground Espresso, and this is for the natural ornament that I created. I have some ribbon. These are kind of like this like a plaid or a gingham, I guess, ribbon. I think they're more plaid. Are they plaid? I think they're plaid. Check ribbon, whatever. I have a green and ivory color. I have a black and a white, and I have a red and black. And I use all three of these on the ornaments. And these are 3/8 of an inch. You can see here. Hopefully, turn this down a bit so you can see it. See that? All right, and I use those. I also have some like, these are, I mean, it's kind of like a twine, but it's really like a ribbon of like a jute ribbon, twine ribbon that I used. I have my white embossing powder. That's what I'm going to use for, to put the, like the stamp the words on. I'm going to use this one. I'm also going to be using some embossing, well, embossing ink. You'll need that as well too. Okay, whichever one you have, doesn't matter. This little pillow here is for embossing things. I don't like this pillow a lot of the time, but I do find that it's nice to have to use on your wood because it creates a resist for your embossing powder so it doesn't stick all over the place on there in case you have oils in your fingers. And so we will use it maybe just very, very lightly and kind of go from there. Okay. So if you have one of these little things, you can use it as well. Or you can risk it and just see if you have to kind of, you know, get that off of your wood slice. Then I have my stamps that I'm going to use. These are holiday whatnots from Tim Holtz and Stampers Anonymous, and this is what it looks like. Okay. And then I have my black embossing, my black gesso is what I'm trying to say, black gesso that I always use for everything. I have that because I love the matte finish of it. You can use any black paint that you have, acrylic. And then lastly, I have my little fake, I guess they're kind of fake artificial greenery. I got these off Amazon and I'm going to use these as well on there. Okay, so those are our supplies for this project. And you need a brush, obviously, some water to kind of do whatever. So I'm going to jump in and paint my wood blocks, my wood slices first. Now I will tell you, these are some of the ones that I worked on. Sometimes my wood slices would like kind of crack as I was painting it. I'm not really sure if it's expanding or contract. I don't know what's going on with it. I think it's kind of cute, but you know, you may kind of be more of a perfectionist and you might want it to be very much like this, you know, kind of like this, where it's already kind of, it's not cracking at all. So just keep that in mind. I think, again, you can still use them, but again, some people may not like those. See? All right. Okay. So I'm going to try to, I have some of these that are already painted, so I might do some of these. I might just paint one of them so you can see how I did it. And then we will just stamp those because I do have some that are already painted. Where's the other one go? Use this one. All right, so these wood slices come with the hole already in them. So you don't have to worry about, you know, drilling a hole in there or not. So that's nice for that one. All right, so let's jump in. Now you want to get these off, any kind of like debris off of this as much as you can. If you want to sand this a little bit more to make it smoother, you can do that as well. I'm not doing that. So I'm going to do this one with my lumberjack plaid. I'm just going to put some paint down here for that. And if it's cracks, you might hear it crack, but I don't know. We might look out and it doesn't crack. So when I did these, I kind of went not all the way to the edge of it. You can see on this one, I just kind of left a little bit of a border around it of the wood slice. I just like that look, but you don't have to do that. So I would just go and find, like, if you see here, let's see if you can see this. If you see here in this, you can see there's a little bit of a line. One of the slices, the wood rings. I just follow that as my template, or whatever the case may be. Okay, let's bring it down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. I already have this one already done, but essentially you kind of see the two here. So I'm going to let this dry and then come back with that one as well. Okay, so while our red one is drying, I'm going to just start playing with the other one and just sort of see. So I'm going to take my little, my chalk pillow, I guess, and I'm going to just rub it across my wood slice. Okay, I'm trying to prevent any kind of ink from the oils of my finger to get ink on my surface here, because I'm going to stamp this and I don't want anything else to kind of do that. I'm probably going to do like a clear embossing glaze on this one, just to kind of do whatever. So I'm going to look and see which one of these I want to use on this one. And what I typically do for this is just sort of go through and kind of see which one will fit that I like, and kind of cover a lot of the surface for me. And I think I'm liking this Happy Holiday one. So I'm going to do this Happy Holiday. I'm going to get a stamping block, maybe. And I want to make sure that my, like where I want to stamp it. So I kind of have a little bit of an idea here. And remember, you're going to be adding some stuff at the top here. So I would come down just a little bit, but not all the way down. Just to give yourself some room for your ribbon, your bow at the top here, as you saw in the photo, and your string and your greenery. Okay, so I'm going to do that one. I know what I want to do here. Make sure your stamp is clean. And I'm going to be using my archival Grana Spesso ink. Now, when you stamp this, you can leave it just as it is with the stamp. It kind of creates this little, like, I think I have an example here. You can see it's like a little bit of like a vintagey type, just very, very like nice and smooth. And it's really simple to do. Like, you don't have to do anything else to it. It's just simple and you just got it done. Okay. But I think I'm going to add some frosted crystal on this one. We'll see what happens. I haven't done this one yet, so we'll see what happens. So I'm just going to ink this up and I'm going to stamp it. ink it really, really well. Hopefully my ink has, my ink pad isn't too dry. Because you only get one chance at this one. You can't redo it. It has to be like one time and that's it. So let me get all my stuff ready. So like when I do this, it's ready to go. Make sure this is inked really well. Oh my gosh, I'm getting nervous. All right, you only get one chance. Make sure you get all of your pressure on this so that you can transfer that ink really, really well. There it goes. And I'm going to try that. So you have that. I'm going to try to put some embossing stuff on it and see if it'll do it. I think it did a little bit. All right, we're going to try it and see. So this is what we got so far. I have some embossing. Just again, I'm using my embossing. I'm using frosted crystal on this one. I don't think I showed you guys that earlier, but it's just a clear embossing kind of glaze. So I'm gonna heat this up and see what we get. It might crack, just so you know. All right, so this is what we got so far. I think my wood probably absorb a lot of this, but we'll see. I'm gonna let it cool down because it's kind of warm, and we'll see what happens with it. So that's what we got so far. Let this one cool down. I think we're doing okay with this one. It's still a little wet, so I'm gonna let it do what it's gonna do. So I'm gonna move on to my black one. Now this is where this is tricky because I'm gonna use my white like embossing pillow, chalk pillow thing here. And I want to find, so I want to get everything ready again because I am going to be embossing this with white. So let me get my white embossing powder out, get my paper out here so we know what we're doing. And then I want to see what stamp set I want to use. For this one. All right, so let's see here. I think I don't want to do that one. I think I might do the Merry and Bright one. Let's see here. Okay. Make sure my stamp is straight as it can be. And then I'm going to grab my embossing ink. I need to do this first. I'm going to do this. And this is going to become white. So just so you know, it's like a white little chalk. So we'll fix that later on. Make sure your stamp is super well inked. And if you can, you might want to, if you want to increase or clean out the edge of your stamp so you don't have embossing ink. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to put it where, right there. Make sure that transfer over. Make sure you put a pressure onto the entirety of your stamp. Try not to move it. Okay. And you can see I have some that I'm still missing, but that's okay because we don't have another choice. This is frosted. I want white. And let's see here. So one thing that you can do is, because I see some spots where my, I see some spots where my ink didn't transfer as well. On here, you can see kind of like my B over here, whatever. I just grab embossing pen and I kind of go back in and just fix things a little bit. So I'll get my stamp and I will put it face down so I can see the back of it and just make sure that where it needs to be. We'll try it and see. So you see there, it's got some little stuff in the middle there. That's what I was trying to avoid with my pillow. So I'm going to have to go back in here and kind of clean it up a bit before I emboss it. So you want to get another paintbrush that is dry. And you can go back in here and just start brushing away some of your embossing powder. Especially the parts that's going to like make it difficult to kind of like separate those. I like to clean up. I need a smaller brush to get in between here. So keep looking at your image on the stamp. So I'm looking at, this is what I'm looking at, and I'm kind of trying to make sure that all of these are kind of coming off a bit. Best that I can. I can't get all of them, but especially the spacing between the letters is important because you can at least, you want to at least be able to separate those so you can see what they are. Oops. I'll leave that like that. And if you make a mistake, you're hit. Just leave it at that point because all right, well, we're going to try this. All right. So this is what this one looks like a bit there. And you could, let me close this for now. I'm going to let this cool down and we'll go back in here and do some other stuff. Yeah, while it's still hot, you can kind of go back in here and try to fix it a little bit more while your glaze is still hot. But that's what this one looks like. So we've got two. And then I'm not quite sure if this is dried all the way. And I just got embossing glaze all over that. So that's lovely. But I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to figure out which stamp I want to use on this one as well. go. And it's turning a little bit red, but that's okay. Awesome. So there's that. And we have our 3 little ornaments. Super cute, right? I love it. I think they're great. Okay. So now I'm going to try to clean this up because it has that chalk on there. I'm going to just get some water and just try to go back over it really, really quick. I don't want to get it too wet. Just really a damp, just damp. I'm just going to try to wipe this off. And I got a little bit of red on there. That's okay though. See? All right, cool. So we have this and we got this going a little bit. Alrighty. So next I'm going to grab my twine to start creating my loops. I think I want to do, I feel like I'm going to cut this down. And I'm just cutting it down to like just enough for me to kind of play with if I need to do anything with. So I'm going to cut 3 of these. And I like to push this through the whole. So I like to fold it in half like this. And push it through the hole. If I can get it through there. And do the little loop on top like that. Okay, that's one way to do it because I want it to be where when I hang it up on my tree or wherever I'm hanging it up at, that it's flat. So it lays flat like that and not like, because if you just put it through the hole, it's not gonna be able to lay flat. It's gonna be kind of weird. Just trust me on this one. Okay, so I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna leave this there for now. We'll come back and tie that off. So I want to do the rest of them. All right, so there we go. And next, I'm going to grab my ribbon and start tying them. So I just, for the natural one, I like to use the green. Where is this at? The green ribbon. I just think it looks nice and it makes it look very, very vintagey. So I think it's just really cool for this one. So I'm going to just I am probably overdoing this, but I like to then take my ribbon, pass it underneath this little loop right here that we created at the top. Tying that back up. And then I just tie a little bow. Tie a bow. You can make your loops as big or small as you want to. I like my loops a little bit chunkier, like that. Okay. And then I'm going to cut this down. At an angle. Okay. Here we go. So there's this portion right here. We'll do that, and we'll do the rest of them. So we got these. And then the last thing I like to do on these is add a little bit of the greenery. I just think it adds a little bit more flair to it too. So let me grab my greenery. So these come in like these little branches, and I just go through and cut out just some of the longer stems on here. I like to do like 2 per side, so it looks a little bit full. And then I want to measure it, so I'm just tucking it underneath my ribbon a little bit, both sides here, and kind of make sure I'm not on my my letters, my words there. So this one goes over here. I guess if it's on there a little bit, it's okay, but I try not to have it on there a lot so I can see my words. And then I'm just going to glue this down. So I'm going to cut the rest of them out first, and then I will go back in and glue them down all at the same time. All right, so I'm just going to hot glue this, and that's all I'm doing with it. It's just hot gluing it. So I'm going to making sure my stem is kind of tucked. I want it to be kind of tucked underneath this little part right here, my little string, okay? Because I'm trying to hide it so you can't see that I've glued it down. It's essentially what I'm doing here. Cool beans. And if you want to glue your ribbon down a little bit so it's more secure and kind of looks the way you want to, you can. But that's essentially what this one looks like. And I'm just going to do the rest. Go. Awesome, right? I love these. I just think I love the contrast of the black and the red, and I just think it's really beautiful. And this one with like the kind of vintagey look to it. I don't know. I just really enjoy these. I think they're just really beautiful, and hopefully you do too. And then one final thing that I like to do on these, and this is completely optional, is I like to grab, especially just for these two, I like to grab a white pen. If I can find one, and just go back through and just add some white dots kind of all over. All right, friends, so this is what this trio looks like when I'm doing, this is what I created for the release, and hopefully you guys can see what these are about, and you can make some for yourself and give them out as Christmas gifts or whatever. And honestly, I think you can use just any other stamp sets that you may have. I just think this wording, the stamp set, the typography on it, the font, it's just really, it kind of lends itself to being really whimsical and can be kind of like vintagey for Christmas. So I think that is one of the reasons why I think it just works for these ornaments. Okay. All right. Okay. So thank you all for joining me today. I hope you guys enjoyed creating these with me. They were a lot of fun to make. And if you have any questions about anything, let me know. I'll be happy to answer those for you. But I think these are just really great, you know, for your holiday season and whatnot. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.